from World Badminton for 5 months, didn't take her, as we've already mentioned, to the Uber Cup finals, just getting her training, getting her confidence back of, you know, you're in supreme physical condition now.
Yes, they just took her away from the international scene for a few months. Maybe they also identified 1 or 2 weaknesses with her game as well, and certainly she's come back, I think, a much more balanced player, and I would say that's due to increased leg strength. I think they've done a lot of work with her leg strength, and she's much more balanced in her hitting position than I think she was before she took the break. And she's got such a good technique with the racket that if you ally that to the leg strength, it means that she's always very balanced around the court, and she's got time to use that technical ability. As with 1 or 2 of the other Chinese players, though, Li Yongbo may have just been saying to her, you may be #1, but your place in the team isn't sure, and maybe that was a bit of a wake-up call as well with the Uber Cup non-selection.
Oh.
Maybe that's just motivated her to put a little bit extra into her training as well.
Yeah, absolutely. 3-2. Because, as I was mentioning, she really burst onto the world scene.
We've talked about it several times this week. Young players who get to the top early, sometimes it's very difficult for them to deal with it. They haven't got the mental skills or even the social skills to deal with the extra pressure and the extra attention that they get. It looks as though the Chinese have decided to just protect her for a period and, as you say, rebuild her confidence.
4-2. Yes, well, of course, one of our honoured guests and presenters for the men's singles medals, Martina Hingis, was a player who sprang to prominence at such a young age, winning Wimbledon doubles at the age of 15. And of course, at the age of 23, I think she quit the game. I mean, it is a very difficult thing to manage the pressures and emotions that young players, young athletes in all different sports have to go through when they are growing up.
Yes, I think it's really important to have a good team around you when you hit that high, and suddenly you're exposed to all sorts of
5-3
different sensations and different situations. You know, there'll be a lot more press when she started to win and came to the fore, a lot more press to deal with. And she was still at an age really at 20 where she was learning how to look after herself on the circuit, travelling to different countries, jet lag, change of diets, different languages, different playing conditions, a lot to take in.
Yes, well, of course, we just had a shot there of Pi Hongyan, who managed that quite superbly. Came to live in a new country. She was born in Chongqing in China, came to live in France. She's learnt to speak English, she's learnt to speak French, she's embraced the French way of life. But of course, she was older when she moved here, I think.
Yes, and Hongyan, when she first moved to Europe, of course, went to Denmark.
Yep.
And was actually the preferred sparring partner of Camilla Martin when Camilla was at the top of her game. I know she spent hours training with Pi Hongyan, and I think Pi Hongyan, although she'd learnt a lot in China, I think she also learnt a little bit about Camilla Martin and how Camilla Martin, although she was by far the best player in Denmark, was able to look after herself and produce her best in major championships. So Hongyan had a lot of experience before she actually came to live in France.
Control of the front of the court. Spotted that in the opening game.
Yes, it's been critical in this game. Again, it's Wang Xin who's forced her into the retrieving position. She's late in the rear court, she's late in the forecourt, and eventually Wang Lin finds the winning shot. She's manoeuvring her opponent so well in this match. bit of precision. All points of the court there. And seeing late in the front court this time first, and then forced right deep into the corner. We see her late in the forecourt then. And then look, she's right in the corner, feet out to the back of the court. And that creates the space down the line for the winning smash.
Good judgment there.
Service over 5-8.
Though just looks as though she's lost half a yard of that pace she had in the quarter and the semi-final jump. Again, she's at full stretch. Keeping it going. It's a partner who's dictating the style of this game, but she's still in there fighting. Saw there, she's late a couple of times early on in the point, but manages to keep the shuttle in play.
It's called good.
No, it's right in front of us, and I think I agree with that call. Right on the line.
Well, she's closed the gap to just 1 point. And that's wild. Back level.
Talking off about Langley and superior technique and everything, but there's going to come a moment here at some stage where she starts to maybe get ahead of herself a little bit, thinking of being world champion, etc. If she does that, you just give her opponent an opportunity to get a foothold in this game.
Oh, that is superb. Goodness me.
Service
The way she manoeuvres her opponent, look, the quick cross there, and the hold and the flick, and it's right in behind her opponent, and it's a beautiful touch across the net to finish. Look how late Wang-Sin is here. No chance on the diagonal with that sort, against that sort of precision. Back she comes though, trying to get the attack herself. Lovely counter, lovely counter. Twice late in the rear court. Wang Lin thought she'd made her opponent late, thought there was a chance to attack.
9-all.
Wang Sin anticipating the straight smash and turning it beautifully across the court.
Indecision. Got away with it. Oh.
Yeah, great rally again.
Service over.
And just that superior touch in that telling factor.
9.
Indecision, but great defence afterwards to get herself back into that rally.
Good work. good manoeuvring of her opponent from Wang Lin. And she's earned herself a 2-point advantage at the mid-game interval. And of course, we've talked about